A Thousand Faces and None. The Depersonalization of Arya Stark. Of all the characters in A Song of Ice and Fire, Arya Stark has arguably the most tragic story. When we are first introduced to her, Arya is a spirited 9-year-old tomboy who loves exploring, dreams of fighting, and is close with her half-brother Jon Snow. Over the course of the series, however, she is hunted and imprisoned, forced to survive on the streets of King's Landing and the wilds of the Riverlands, kills multiple people both in self-defense and as revenge, and witnesses horrific violence and depravities, including the execution of her father Ned and the massacre of her remaining family at the Twins. She suffers a range of traumatic events, and these experiences take an extreme toll on her psyche, to the point where she gradually becomes detached from herself and from reality. This depersonalization is manifested first through the adoption of various disguises and aliases, and then through her training at the House of Black and White, where she learns how to relinquish the last remnants of her identity and memories, becoming, quote, no one. In diagnostic terms, depersonalization is a dissociative disorder wherein a person experiences a chronic detachment from their own mind or body, and often imagines observing themselves from an outside perspective. Victims have described feeling that their selfhood has been suppressed and that the world has become vague, dreamlike, and haunted. The primary cause of depersonalization is psychological trauma, caused either by a single overwhelming event or by prolonged suffering. The inciting traumatic event in Arya's life is the execution of her father. From the crowd gathered around the great sept of Baelor, she witnesses Ned being condemned, his head put on a block, and the sword raised. Mercifully, she is prevented from viewing the beheading itself, and recognizes only, quote, a noise, a soft sighing sound, far away, end quote, as she sobs into Yoren's arms. The ambivalence of the moment evokes the nature of trauma, which diagnostics describe as an eerie absence within consciousness, indicating an experience that was too shocking or devastating to be properly encoded by the victim's brain. Instead, the incident is buried in some inaccessible part of the psyche, where it lies dormant for a time before slowly festering. You can find the rest of this essay in my new book, Notes from the Citadel, The Philosophy and Psychology of A Song of Ice and Fire, available in ebook and paperback via the link in the video description.